Anyway, let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
I wonder what department he would have ended up in.
To do that.
Drama.
Theater.
Cool.
Yeah,
Drama.
I was in theater. I was in choir too. I've been in a lot of plays.
Oh no! Oh no!
I played Kaniki in Greece. They tried to make me play Romeo and Romeo and Juliet, but I hated the girl that was playing Juliet and didn't want to kiss her. So I played Mercutio and Romeo and Juliet. I was in Guys and Dolls, but I don't remember that play very well.
You're hitting all of high school Rachel's boxes.
Oh. He's got blonde curly hair.
So, I tell you what, I will do. I will give inspiration to whoever can do a recap for me today.
What happened last time?
Oh,
Ira's stuff. Ira's sacrifice.
Buster, your mic is muted. I see your lips moving, but there's no sound coming out.
Oh, am I even in? Oh, yeah, I'm here.
I mean, I have inspiration, so I'm gonna.
Joyden, I think, starts inspiration session. Wasn't it? No, it's Layla. Layla starts with inspiration session.
Yeah, Layla did a real good job last time.
So, last session, you guys came to the city of Elturel. You spent some time sort of wandering around. You had a massage. You found out that the inns, the places where you sleep, cannot serve alcohol. So you went to a bar and drank and had a meal. Upon leaving the bar, you were followed by a group of apparent paladins. They were looking for Ira, who they figured out was a demon. The group of you were detained. Arrested is not really the correct word, because Ira had fled the city in order to not be arrested herself. You met with Durst, I think is his name. I'd have to look. The dwarf who seems to be in charge of the city. The high Delt, yeah, Dhetel, that's what it is, Delt. You met with Delt, the who's the high marshal of the city, sort of the leader of their military arm. He decided that you guys tried to convince him that he Ira was good. Eventually, swayed by your arguments, he allowed one of you to leave, which was Layla, to go talk to Ira to see if she would turn herself in, basically, for interrogation. She actually did, and upon showing up at the city, at the castle, and having a conversation with Delt, he asked her if she would be willing to submit to a geese spell. She said she would. Upon realizing that she would just submit to the spell to let you guys go, he realized, yeah, I guess her intentions are good. Fine. Waved you away with his hooked hand, and said he would probably build a statue to Ira the Redeemed. And you guys left. During all of this, at some point, you met a new elf friend named Gadam, who you guys have dubbed Mr. Big Elf. He is obese, and he likes hookers. That's pretty
But
much
not pimps.
but not pimps. He dislikes pimps. But yeah, him and Layla had a small tryst. He said that he would look you guys up next time he was in Waterdeep, and that's where we left off. You guys are in, I forget the name of the inn, but it's the nicest inn in the city of Elturel, so it is very well appointed. No, that's in Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, okay.
It is very well appointed, and it is getting late in the evening.
Something unicorn.
Yeah, somebody's unicorn.
Yeah, some dudes.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Oh, thank God. Okay, thanks.
We got you.
Yeah, okay. Bontier's Unicorn is the name of the inn you guys are in. And it is decorated lavishly with cushions and heavy curtains to help dampen the sound so you can have privacy at various tables. The bottom floor seems to be almost like a dining hall / game room where a bunch of the people are sitting around playing various board games or card games, dice games, things like that. That seems to be the occupation. Yeah, and You guys have rooms upstairs, all fancifully decorated, heavy heavy curtains and pillows and fine couches, everything with a brightly colored unicorn etched on it. So they seem to be leaning into that unicorn motif kind of heavily. Which brings us to the question. Now that Ira seems to be in the free and you guys are back at your inn, what do you want to do?
We go to bed. Is it still like bedtime?
You're not really sure. The inn is emptied out a bit. People have seemed to filter upstairs or out of the hall in general. Um, so you think maybe it's late at night, but the constant sun streaming in from Elturel's magical sun that floats above the city is throwing your body clock off, basically.
I think Ira and I are gonna feed Ira. She did a good job today.
I'll have fun.
Anybody want to join? Because it can be taxing.
I'm good.
Damn it.
She
Jordan?
actually kind of shakes her head and she's like, Layla, I'm not actually hungry right now.
I bet her appetite isn't very high after she almost faced certain death.
And through a lot.
Yeah.
I was 100% certain he was going to smite me. Like, Ira was trying to figure out a way to resummon, or Layla was trying to figure out a way to resummon me. She shrugs. Sort of trails off.
Aw. You guys are wise. Buster, Curtis. I didn't even think about it.
She's like, I think I'm just gonna go lay down for a while.
Okay. You wanna?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That's
Go
definitely.
take a little nap.
You know, Lila, she might need a snuggling partner still.
Okay. That's true. Traumatic day, you know.
You guys can't hear the 3D printer running in the background, can you?
Nope.
No, what are you printing?
I have no idea. Ask me what.
I'm printing a silicon mold holder. So I'm gonna make a dice mold. And then
Ooh.
for resin, but I'm trying to get my printer to work and it's taken like 2 weeks trying to get it to work.
Cool.
And I think it might kind of be working right now.
D12, D20?
D20 right now is what I'm
I
trying.
have a D20 mold I've only used once. Maybe I can send it to you.
Aw.
So,
You're sweet.
Ira goes upstairs to go to bed. She's gonna go find Layla's room and crash out.
Nice.
Which leaves the rest of you, Chris. Yeah, you're tired, you're sleepy, but it's daylight and it's weird.
I guess. Like, I feel like Chris has a pretty strong biological clock, like circadian rhythm.
Yeah, those are two different things.
Yeah, the second one.
I don't know if Chris wants to have babies or not.
Oh no, well, it's the clock in your brain that tells you what time it is. I don't know.
I mean,
It's a biological clock.
she already has an egg.
That's true. I haven't checked on my egg in a long time. I'm gonna go to my room and check on my egg.
It's not just in your arm.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna.
I will have you guys go ahead. Yeah, we'll say you go to bed for the night, unless anybody has something specific they want to do.
No.
Chris, would you
other than play games, like the board games there?
the board games? Yeah, there's a few board games going. There's dudes in a corner playing some very complicated war game on a giant like table with drawers in it, and they have little ships and charts with numbers on them, and they're rolling fuck tons of dice. And they're playing some kind of it's like Warhammer, but medieval style. And then yeah, there's simpler, more like fun, lighthearted games. There's people playing card games. You find a couple of dudes just playing halflings and giants. which is a game you've become familiar with, where you can roll. I think you roll 2d6 versus a d12. So one player plays the giant, which is the d12. The other one plays the halfling, which is the 2d6. Yeah, lots of games. So you play a few games, have a nice meal. Eventually, everybody kind of shuffles off to bed. Chris, where did you have your egg stashed?
It's in my armpit, where I
That's
usually
still in
keep
your
it.
armpit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you shuffle upstairs and you take off your coat and your armor and you go to reach under to pull the egg out. It's gone.
No, no, my child. The Buster's
Go.
entrusted to me. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna like take off my armor and like dump it out and see if if anything falls out of it.
If you rattle the armor, some little pieces of eggshell come tumbling out.
My baby! Where's my baby?
There's no like little crushed creature though. It doesn't seem like the egg was smashed in your armpit.
Can I? So I know that the egg came from under Buster's hat, and the thing that lives under Buster's hat can sometimes be invisible. So can I check for invisible creatures on my person?
Make a perception check. 14. On.
Chris, what are you doing?
My baby!
She like bolts out of bed.
Not in
I
my
sensed-
armpit anymore. Where I keep it safe and warm.
Do you want help finding it?
Maybe?
I sense a disturbance of the force.
With a quick pat down on yourself, Chris, you don't find like a creature clinging or anything.
Kelric will turn into a dog.
Yeah, help me, Kelric, sniff it out.
It does the
Sniff out my
sniffing.
baby.
So you can make.
I'm gonna hold a piece
you can
of
make a perception
eggshell
check with advantage.
to Kelric.
You're gonna need to beat a 17.
Find it, boy.
The dog looks at you.
What was that, Kat?
Oh, say hi to everyone.
Oh, hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Annabelle.
They all say hi.
That's a good
Ooh.
roll.
Yeah.
Buster comes running up to the door and is banging on the door and is yelling about how he can sense a disturbance in the force. Kelric vamps into a dog, begins sniffing around. And Kelric, you get the smell of like sulfur, and like spoiled eggs, that like rotten kind of smell. It's not pungent, but you can smell it, and it starts in Chris's armpit and then goes up the side of her shoulder and up into the back of her hair.
Kelric does the thing that I've seen big dogs do before, and puts the arms over the shoulders and like sticks his full nose into Chris's hair.
Oh,
Chris, you feel his nose. I know Chris has fairly short hair, but you feel like the nose and with a sniff. Yeah, the smell is the strongest there, Kelric. But Chris, as the nose goes up into your hair, you feel like your hair shift, almost like somebody running their hand through the back of your hair.
I reach back to where I felt.
You reach
disturbance.
back, you feel your hair, you feel Kelric's giant dog nose, and then like clinging into the back of your hair, you can feel something like hard and spiny.
Can I like very gently try to pry it off of the back of my head?
Yeah, you could feel it like paw at your hair, like it's trying to grab back on, and then like wrap itself around your fingers. You just feel little spikes almost dig into your nails. It must be like a couple inches tall.
I
You just feel
grab
this
it and try to bring it to my face, even though I probably can't see it.
You still can't see it. Whatever it is that's grabbing onto your hand is invisible.
I'm gonna try to pet it.
Okay. Yeah, you can feel it's just like it's like running your hands across like
A hedgehog? Porcupine?
no, sort of. Yeah, but instead of like instead of spikes, yeah, kind of like petting a bearded dragon. But instead
Okay.
of spikes, you feel like the backside of hooks. So if you were to
Whoa.
run your hand the other way, it would be like a bunch of fish hooks going into your hand.
Ooh.
I will make a mental note to not do that. Oh baby, is that you, my little armpit baby?
Buster
It's dog
just
kid
kind
face palm.
You don't hear any response.
Buster's eyes cross, and then he kind of just is like, "Oh, you gave birth."
I did. Oh, also I let Buster in, I guess. He's been standing out in the hallway
Yeah.
the whole time.
And just kind of standing with his fist in the air, banging on the door. What are you gonna name it? Or it?
Well, I can't see it right now.
What do you name it or it?
Maybe it's his preferred
Oh my
pronoun.
god, that was so good.
You got to cover all the pronouns. Maybe it can meet Globby. And he'd like unleashes Globby.
Dog white curls in a circle and starts trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, so you guys just hear talons on the floor as Buster's hat comes off. Something kind of rattles up towards you, Chris, and you can hear sniffing, but you can't see whatever it is.
Do I feel my little armpit baby shift on my hand?
It doesn't. Once it's like clung onto your finger, it doesn't move.
Oh, okay. I'll just leave it here then. You just be my little armpit baby. Keep you here where you're safe. I'm just gonna keep petting it and
Okay.
try and come up with a name. Kelric, do you have any suggestions?
Kelric's a dog, and Kelric's going to bed.
Maybe I'll name it Kelric
See?
Jr.
You should pity.
What? What was that, Buster?
You should call it pity for armpit.
Oh! I'll throw that into the hat.
Also, if it gets away, you'll be pitiless.
It's an impetus.
Or
My little baby won't run away from me, isn't that right? Little armpit baby. You won't leave me.
Hooray for armpit baby! We should throw a baby shower.
Maybe tomorrow. It's kind of late.
Yes, we should go to sleep and plan.
Also, you can't see it because my webcam isn't on, but I'm petting my armpit baby on my finger.
Thanks for letting
It's like
us know.
a baby bat.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't feel like leathery wings, just like spine
Cool.
hooks. Okay. So I guess after that excitement, everybody goes to bed.
I guess so.
Okay. So then you have to close the heavy curtains that cover the windows, but once you do, they block out the magical sun fairly effectively. So it can get dark in here and quiet and cool. So most of you manage to sleep peacefully. Layla, however, during the night, you have a strange occurrence. You come walking into the room, your bedroom, the room you've rented here at the inn, and Ira has just flopped down onto the bed fully clothed, which is an odd occurrence for her, and is just like passed out. And then sitting in the chair next to the one candle that's lit in the room is a man. He's tall and kind of thin, but sort of well built. He's wearing a long, like shiny red leather trench coat, no shirt, and black leather pants, and then like
Dante.
kind of, yeah, like almost knee-high leather boots. He's wearing the no shirt so that you can clearly see the six pack, and the sleeves have been torn off of the coat so you can see how ripped his arms are. He has flaming, like bright red hair that is spiked up. And at first you don't recognize him, but when he smiles, you can see the rows of sharp teeth. And when you look him over again, you can see that all of his nails are filed, or at least, or maybe grow. It's hard to tell, to a fine point. The voice is different, the physical appearance is different, but you recognize Asmodeus when you see him. And he smiles at you. He's like looking down at Ira almost lovingly, and he smiles at you as you come into the room and says, "Oh, hello there, Layla." He looks down at himself, looks back up at you, and he goes, "This is a bit of a strange costume you got me in, then."
Clearly, I'm hallucinating.
He shrugs. Oh, dreaming? Who knows?
Can I like pinch myself? Do I wake up? Does it work?
And he shrugs in and goes like, I don't think I've ever actually seen that work. And I spend a lot of time in people's dreams.
Oh, God, you're such an invasive little prick.
He shakes his head. He's like, well, I can't just show up unless you're thinking about me when you... Anyway.
I'm not thinking about you, and I'm pretty sure... Well, I do like leather pants, but definitely not thinking about you in leather
He's
pants.
like, this outfit, Layla, is a bit ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you're quite the ridiculous one yourself. Showed up in my dreams.
He shrugs.
Hmm.
And he says, so you met Ira then? Looks back at her.
Mm-hmm.
Nods and goes, you know, she was one of my favorites. Except he would use her real name, which I'm not going to use because it's secret, but he would use it. But he looks over at her and says, yeah, you know, she was one of my favorites before she stopped doing what literally what she's supposed to do.
Seems she's, changed. For the better.
He shrugs. Sometimes change is for the better, sometimes it's for the worst.
Alright, you can go now.
He nods and he's like, you should really watch her though.
You can go.
He nods and he's like, alright then, well, I mean, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. He sort of stands up and starts walking over toward the door. Looks back over at Ira and he's like, you know, there's a reason I put her in a mirror, right? And it wasn't because she wouldn't listen to me, but because she was too nice. And then he shuts the door. You snap awake in your bed, just covered in sweat. Ira passed out on the bed next to you, fully clothed, just like she was in your dream. But you are panting heavily, and you can feel the thrumming of your heart in your chest.
God, that guy's a jerk.
So morning comes. Morning, in quotation marks. You guys sleep. And then at some point in the morning, what you think is morning, the breakfast is like delivered to your room. So that's, you assume, a wake up call and the correct time to wake up the next day. You guys all get delivered meals and strong drinks to wake you up. Hot tea or coffee or booze, dealer's choice. Fruit juices and things that are light that like you would expect to be served at like a continental breakfast. Nothing heavy or greasy like bacon and eggs. Fruit, cheeses, nuts, things of that nature. You wake up. Everybody goes through their morning routine. Layla, Ira this morning kind of attempts to follow your routine. She still seems a little hesitant about the prayers. She's not 100% certain about that, but she kind of like watches you a little more closely, and you can see her lips moving, but she doesn't go through the whole process. But morning ends, and I guess you guys head downstairs to meet up. Does anybody have something else to say? Do?
Buster and Globby start dancing down the stairs to meet Chris.
Someone had a good morning.
And he reaches under his hat and throws some like odd confetti on Chris and toots a tiny little horn that he just happened to have on his pocket and says, "You're a dad!"
I am. That's me.
Congratulations!
Thanks. Also, you're a dad. We're dads together. We're double dads.
Double dads!
What is happening?
I'm a dad.
Chris is a dad!
Chris, I thought you were... Well, never mind. How are you a dad?
My baby hatched.
Oh,
Yeah!
baby. Oh,
Like the Papa Penguin who sits dutifully on his eggs.
oh, I'm so
I
proud.
too have that.
Congratulations.
And hatched a baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Wait, so is my baby here? Is it clinging to me somewhere?
Like at some point it crawled back up into your hair. It's like on the
Okay,
back.
that's
of your head.
fine. I can accept that that's where it lives.
It's like Buster's Imp. It's all about that head life.
Yes! They love soft, fuzzy things like your hair or my feathers.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
They also like to lay more eggs.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. But
So
how
then
do
you can...
the eggs hatch if there's no like other party to fertilize?
Who said there isn't? We just can't see them.
That's true.
Oh dear.
That's very true, Buster. Well, I'll assume that you're the authority because you're the originator of this.
This is so exciting. We could both have our sweet little babies on our heads.
And they can go on play dates and we can dress them up.
Kelric is looking increasingly perturbed at all this.
While this conversation is happening, can I have you guys make either perception or insight checks for me? Whichever one.
Nothing.
Okay. So, no, not investigation, insight. I don't think it'll matter. I think Buster would still roll the highest. So we'll say Joyden and Buster. While this conversation is going on, the two of you can see over by, I guess Kelric too. So the three of you see over by the, what probably used to be a bar that's turned into like a coffee bar or something because they can't serve alcohol anymore. There's three what look like teenagers, like somewhere between 15 and 19, that kind of stick out. There's one of them that's in a very like fine cut suit, um, like very well tailored. He has dark hair that's sort of short cropped, and he's a little short. He's only like 5'6", 5'7". He's smaller kid, sort of thin and frail looking. And then standing on either side of him, there's a very tall, slender kid with very pale skin and a ton of piercings, like a nose ring, a lip ring, earrings, just a ton of piercings. Dressed more ramshackled, more rough, kind of. And then on the other side of him is a heavy set kid, kind of chunky, but with like a big barreled chest and big arms. He looks to be the oldest of the three, and he is wearing like what somebody would have bought their kid to go to church if they didn't have a ton of money. It's like they spent as much money as they could on it, but it's like not super nice clothes, but they're it's very blue collar. So they're sort of different like strata. And the two kids that are flanking the smallest kid, they have their backs turned to you, but you can see the smallest kid has like a cup of tea in his hand, and he keeps looking over his shoulder at your group, a little uncomfortably.
Hmm.
I wonder whose babies they are.
That's maybe part of paladin babies. Just they don't like the look of my jib, apparently.
You can see the skinny kid turns around and like he puts the cup of tea down on the bar, turns around and looks at the group of you and like takes a deep breath like he's coming in sighs, like he's coming to some sort of decision, and he starts walking toward the group of you.
How many?
What?
Hmm?
I said, how many more days are we in town again?
Today would be the last day. You're gonna go unload the ship and load the new product on the ship, and you will be gone.
All right.
So he comes walking up to the group of you, and sort of like you can see like he's like looking down at his feet, and like a little awkwardly and quietly, and he takes another deep breath, and he's like, uh, ex- mm, I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you the group that traveled here from Waterdeep? You own the severed head.
Our reputation precedes us.
Guess so.
And
That
he
we
nods.
do.
He still
What
hasn't
do you
looked
need?
up and like made eye contact with the group. He nods and he goes, well, you see, I just wanted to thank you in person because I kind of owe you my life. So I didn't know you were traveling around and you went to Baldur's Gate, and then I tried to figure out where you were going from there, and it's just taken me some time to catch up with you. But
You
I
do.
just wanted to say thanks. I think. I don't know.
Well, you're welcome, I think, but I'm not sure what you're thanking us for.
Do we know you?
He nods and he goes, this is a bit awkward. We've actually met once before, but well, I was a bit tied up at the time.
In an attic?
He nods and he's like, you probably better acquainted with my parents.
Oh my god.
Kelric looks very happy.
What?
Your parents suck.
He nods.
Layla.
Kind of
Don't be
emphatically,
rude.
and he's like, yes, what they did was stupid.
Don't
Just
follow in their path.
to say the least. And he nods and he says, I hadn't planned on it. Actually, while I'm here in Elturel, I thought I might um visit the church to Palor. Um, Figured if anybody had an opposite path to the one my parents have taken, it would be him.
Layla turns. She wasn't like actually looking at the kid, and now she turns over to look at him, and she goes. She looks him up and down. She goes, "So you've run away from home?"
He shakes his head and then nods and then shakes his head. He goes, no, my parents know what I'm doing. They just weren't very happy about it. But to be frank, I don't really see that I should care.
So you're aware that they worship Asmodeus.
He nods and he says,
Can I get that in writing?
He shrugs and he's like, I don't really know what difference it would make, but
Here.
if you like.
Yeah, I'll wait for him to. I'll hand him a paper.
Writes, he says, my parents worship Asmodeus and signs it.
Thank you.
Holds it back out to you and he goes, no problem. I thought maybe I should explain. Um, when you gave my parents the money to pay back Asmodeus, Asmodeus returned my soul to my body. He shrugs. So I'm back here now, and I understand I have you to thank for that, and I I don't have the money that my parents have, and I don't really have the ability to give you thanks in the other way. But I thought at least I could do is tell you in person.
That's very nice. of you.
Touching my
I'm
heart.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad that we ended up doing some good after all.
Nah,
Just
She-
please buy from rich people.
She takes his hand. And she goes, "Do good with the soul you've been given." That's what she says, and that's it.
I'll try.
It was a pleasure to meet you, and Kelric offers a handshake.
Jo-
Shake your hand.
Jordan just Jordan just says, "Your origins don't define you." Just
He nods. Well, that's all I really wanted to do. I'm sure you have other adventures or saving or whatever it is you do. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate it.
Aw, thanks. And if you're ever in town again back at the city we came from, Watergate.
Deep! Water,
Water's deep.
Watergate.
Whatever.
Bro.
My brain is full of chicken right now. My dinner was just delivered, so I'm like,
Aw.
my brain's not working. But if you're ever in town, drop by the Severed Head. We'll treat you to a nice salad.
He nods.
The best salad in
appreciate
town, probably.
that. I appreciate that. I think I'm gonna stay here for a while though. What about the group of you? Where are you going next? The desert?
We're going downriver, yeah.
That's upriver.
Oh, yes, upriver. Sorry.
So you're going to the deserts. What are you doing in the
Can I
desert?
insight check this kid?
I'm
I don't
gonna
trust
drag
him.
him. You know how it goes.
Insight checking. See if he has ulterior motives.
Not that you can detect.
Uh,
Seems like an awkward, probably 15-year-old kid.
Out the desert?
He shakes his head. Just what I've read in books. It's hot and it's dry, and I know it's upriver.
Yep. That about sums it up, I think.
I know there are some people that live there, but I can't remember their names or anything like that. But there are people that live out there.
Friendly.
He shrugs. Well, I wish you all the best in your travels through the desert.
You.
And then he doesn't really seem to know what to do next.
Good luck.
This is as far as he planned it out in his head.
Leia's got a question for him. So, why do your parents want to kill me?
He shrugs. I'm sorry, I don't know. As far as I know, you gave them the money they needed, and they don't want anything else to do with you.
I'm insight checking that. Does he know more that he's not telling me?
Ooh.
I mean, you get the sense that it's possible that he has more. Yeah, like that maybe he has more knowledge about his parents' like dealings than he's comfortable talking about.
I think if that's the case, I'm gonna be like, look,
He's clearly like, anytime you ask him about his parents or say anything about his parents, he like shies away. Like he looks back down at his feet really quickly.
yeah, I know you're embarrassed, it seems, to have someone that would do things that they do. But if you could anyway help us, that would be greatly appreciated and be seen as a good deed.
He shakes his head and says, "I'm sorry, I don't really know what they're doing, or I haven't even seen them in 2 months. I left as quickly as I could. It's not very pleasant coming to in your attic weeks after. I don't even know where I was, what was going on, or why I was up there, or where the chains came from.
And they just released you like that?
He shrugs. I guess.
Hmm.
They've always liked the twins better than me, I think.
Right?
Oh, where are you going to be staying while you're here in town?
I think here.
Are your parents still giving you money? Like, I mean, this is a pretty expensive place.
Shakes his head and he goes, I have a little bit of my own money. My parents used to give me an allowance and I didn't really spend it, so it just sat in the bank and pretty rich, so allowance wasn't small. So I have some money saved up.
Your friends are careful. Who are your friends?
I hired them in Baldur's Gate because I almost got robbed.
Oh,
They've been looking out for me. He points at the big guy and he's like, "That's Ball," and then he points at the kid with all the piercings and he's like, "That's Pierce."
Well, invite them over. They seem like lovely chaps.
you're
He shakes his head.
Come
He's
sit
like,
with us.
"Not really. They're kind of unpleasant, but you know they've kept me from getting robbed again."
Oh, I'm sure they're fine. Look at them. Faces like angels.
They don't talk much, but and he turns around and waves them over. And as they come over, he's like, "Ball, Pierce, this is the group that saved me." Um, and they kind of look over the group of you like sneeringly, and just kind of nod.
Do you know friends at Baldur's Gate?
What was the question?
I forgot the kid's name at Baldur's Gate who helped us out. I was trying to
Oh fuck,
ask him.
I don't remember his name either.
Like Tim
Uh,
or whatever.
Probably. I remember he was afraid of somebody named Tommy Two Cloaks.
Oh, oh,
Because I was pretty proud of that name, but I don't remember the kid's name in Baldur's Gate who was your. It was like it might have been like something like Pike.
Yeah,
Oh
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they sort of look at each other and the Pierce like nods his head and says, "Oh God, Baldur's Gate's a New York accent. Hang on, I haven't done that one in a minute." Hey, I'm walking. Oh, he goes, yeah, the kid. He's a grifter. He runs a scam out on the docks. Tells people he's gonna help them with their horses or whatever and steals their stuff. It's an old scam. I'm surprised people still fall for it, but kid eats, I guess.
Yeah, he tried to how's he doing?
Shrugs. He goes, I know him, but I don't like know him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't hang out with the kid. He's like 8.
How old are you?
He puffs out his chest. I'm 17.
Oh, you're a big boy.
And he goes, no, Ball's the big one. Right, Ball? And the guy just kind of like grunts.
Ball.
And he's like, the big one's like, it's not Ball, it's Bow. 1L.
Like
He just
like
rolls his eyes.
like pal with a B?
He nods.
Mm.
Man, I'd curse my parents for giving me that name if they weren't already dead, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Anyway, the Pierce says, he's like, the little tyke from Waterdeep here, he says you guys saved his life somehow. Seems to cling to people real hard that does that. We helped him out when he got in a scrap on the street. He's been dragging us along ever since.
Aw, that is so sweet.
Yeah, well, kid's got moxie.
He seems a good type.
Like, he kind of nods his head. Well, you know, he got us out of Waterdeep. We're all the way here in El Terrell. You know, first thing I noticed when we got out of here, it doesn't smell like shit at all. Have you guys noticed it doesn't smell like shit here?
No, it smells like sand.
It's very fancy.
Right? Right? There's like no problem is there's like no crime, so like I don't know who we're gonna scam out here because we'll go to jail. We're gonna have to figure something else out.
Are you scamming this kid?
They kind of look at each other. No, he offered us money to make sure he doesn't get robbed, and then like made us come here.
Okay.
I guess they're being paid. They're
I
paid
guess so.
bodyguards.
You just see Hugo. His name is Osvaldo. But I don't know where we had Hugo, but I think Hugo's the youngest kid. But you just see Osvaldo like nod his head. Hang on, I need a character sheet for these kids.
Aw.
You're inciting Pierce, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna rob him, are you?
I mean, if they were going to, they probably could have by now.
Oh.
Well, you know, if you guys need some work, probably some of the people who come in here on boats could use some protection or something.
Yeah.
A lot of pirates out there.
Yeah.
Buster, like I don't know, he just seems like a kid. Kelric, you don't think he's gonna rob Pierce, but you don't think his like motives in life in general are very altruistic.
I'll have to. I don't remember what that word means.
As in, like, selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for the greater good.
Layla, you get the same sense.
Right.
Like he's not like in general, this kid is probably not a great person.
Probably fine.
He probably likes to fry ants with a magnifying glass.
What do I feel for Osvaldo? What kind of sense do I get?
What? How do you mean?
Does he seem like he's up to no good, or even though he says he's up to good?
Maybe. It's hard to tell. Like if he's lying, he's good at it.
Mm.
Do with that information as you will. Anything else?
This kid needs to make some friends, but we don't have today.
Okay. Well, they sort of smile and nod, and Osvaldo, Mr. Cassalanter says, well, I just wanted to say thank you. So, I guess we'll go now.
Oh, would you like us to escort you to the church of Palor? You know, I've been meaning to go there since we got here.
We just kind of got here. I don't know if I was gonna go there to like right now, but
nonsense. I think it would be a great plan to, you know, get you in there. I could pull some strings and, you know, maybe get you a place to stay at the church. That way you don't have to spend all of your money here. This place is expensive if you don't have any kind of income right now. You know, with your parents probably have cutting you off, and because you want to go and pursue something that is against the family, really. Mind you, I commend you on that. A real rebel.
He shrugs and says, I guess, sure.
And can I insight check to see if I made him completely uncomfortable?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Let me know
See if he really didn't want to go to this church. 24.
Can you roll a d20 plus 5 for me?
Yeah. $21. You're muted.
I think he's urinating.
He's
wanted
waiting.
to
Yeah. Him's
He didn't
busy.
want us to hear the pee-pee sounds.
Not
Thankfully.
the TV sound.
The waterfall.
Dude, it sounds like somebody spraying a hose into a pond when I pee. Like I pee with
Force.
Thank you for the vivid sound. I can
As
picture.
what? There's a reason I keep my mic muted. I can't hide that.
You can't.
His
I mean, why would you want to?
okay,
Though?
so his reaction is less that he feels uncomfortable with having to go to the Church of Palor, as he is like just a little annoyed.
Awesome.
Badgering the kid. He came all this way. He wouldn't have done that if he wasn't serious, I think.
Unless his parents put him up to something, which I'm
Layla,
not
calm
saying
down.
out loud.
Calm down. Chris just like puts her hand like on the side of your face, and she's just like, shh.
Okay, so you feel Chris's sword callous hand gently brush your face.
Chris, you need some lotion.
We got stuff to do, Layla. There's no time for that.
You're supposed to go unload the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go do our job
Okay. All right.
before they leave us.
All right.
Teenagers, they can do it.
All right. All right. Well, Layla's gonna turn her back to the group, and she's gonna be like, "May Paylor bless you," and her eyes are gonna go solid white with like a sheen of light that comes out, and it's real spooky. She's like, "Do good," and then she's gonna leave.
He nods and he smiles and he says, "I hope to see you again."
We'll look forward to that.
I do too.
You guys-
Before Pierce leaves, I would like to give him a few parting words. Just tell him, from one rogue to another, risk is not always worth the reward.
He nods and kind of looks at you confused, and he's like, "All right, I appreciate the advice, I guess."
I tip my earring to him. Just ding.
Aw.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I like that. I don't have any gold ones. I haven't been able to afford them. But maybe if I keep hanging around with this kid, you know."
So small steps, or one big leap that might land you in a pile of shit.
So no jumping in shit. Got it. All right. That's advice I can understand.
Good deal.
So there's this kind of awkward moment where like they're not sure what to do next, and you guys have told them bye, and you guys kind of slowly part ways, and they go back over to the in quotation marks bar to finish their tea. And you can see them sort of talking as they go. Osvaldo seems very excited as he's walking off, but you're not rich, bro. Okay. So yeah, the group of you, I guess, head back to the ship, and Papa, the guy who runs the little boat with his family, Papa May, greets you, helps you guys up onto the boat, explains how the unloading process is going to go. There are some cranes that can help move heavier stuff, but for the lighter stuff, you guys are basically going to have to offload it, and most of this is textiles, and most of it's going to be offloaded by hand. You're actually going to be loading on a load of logs, like timber, and heading back up river, probably leaving out that evening. So you spend most of the rest of the day in hot, sweaty work. The sun doesn't set here, so there's no sunrise, there's no sunset. It's just always bright out. So you spend the next like 6-7 hours moving all of the textiles off the boat, loading them to a dockmaster who has people that are taking them off to a warehouse. Mr. May gets paid for that, and then turns around and buys a load of lumber which he has to move the ship to another section of the dock district to have loaded onto the ship. You guys help the ship get loaded, and that evening, what you think is probably around sunset, the boat begins traveling upriver once again. The sails are thrown, it catches the breeze. Padme heads back to a rudder. The young kids begin scrambling up the rigging, and the boat is underway once again. So you guys are back under sail that evening. Um, I'll let you guys know if there's anything you want to do on the ship. You can, but I'll let you guys know that the false sun, will be bright in the night sky until you crest, basically, until you get several miles away, so that it dips back down behind the horizon. I think it's like 7 or 8 miles. So you've got a good, couple
Man, talking about
hours
some
of
light
travel.
pollution.
Got a good couple hours of travel with still daylight despite it being evening. Buster, you want to fish? I will take the fist pump as a yes. Buster, go and make a survival check for me. See if you catch another bunyip.
Survival.
Not a bunyip, but you are successful in your fishing, so you catch a few like large catfish, which you can use to feed people. Papa May is always very excited to accept fish, and excited that you guys are helping feed him on the trip. He's more than once offered you like a permanent position on the boat, which you guys have had to turn down. Put you back on the Sword Coast map. All right, so you guys are traveling upriver from Eltora towards Scorn Bowl. Be about here. So you have that day and that that evening and the next morning of just peaceful travel. Is there anything you guys want to do during that time?
How have our buddies been doing?
The May family?
Yeah, our book buddies.
It's pretty standard to them. It seems like nothing strange has happened. They're on the boat. They sat there for a couple days resupplying. They, the Papa May through the dock warden found somebody who could buy the textiles, sold the textiles, found somebody to buy the lumber from, bought the lumber, and they're gonna take the lumber all the way up to Darkhold.
Is Papa keeping up with his prayers?
God, I forgot about that. Uh, he nods and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been trying to, no magic weapon yet, but I want me this." And he goes over and pulls a big heavy case up off the floor and opens it up. There's a big ass crossbow in it.
Oh, nice.
He nods and he's like, "Hey, if the water get dangerous, you get dangerous back at it." You know what I'm saying?
I bought that elvish wine thing. What was it called?
Elverquist.
Elverquist. Yeah.
OT.
I gave it to. I'm gonna give it to Papa May and be like, "Hey, we got this on the land in Elturel. If you say this word, it'll rearrange the gold in it to make it look like the constellation."
He nods and he's like, "Hi, Elverquist. There's a place in Alder's Gates that sells it."
Mm-hmm. You want some?
He shrugs and he goes, well, right now I gotta guide the ship, but when it's my turn to sleep, I'll take a hit with you."
Alright.
He like winks at you.
Drinking boat.
He's like, I'll invite my wife along.
That'd be good. I'm sure she'll enjoy it.
He nods. All right then. So the boat continues sailing on. At some point late in the evening, he turns the helm over basically to his son, his eldest son, who takes over, and he comes over to the group of you with his wife for a nightcap. Yeah, Layla pours everyone a drink. The magic word is said. It seems like he knows it. He knows the word, the Elvish word, for the constellation. The little gold flecks rearrange themselves into the sparkling thing, and he's like, "Oh, it's quite shitty."
Shorty?
He shakes his head, and he's like, "Shitty, like your friend there." He nods toward Layla.
Oh, yeah, pretty.
Nods.
Yeah.
And he takes a sip of the wine and kind of looks around, and he's like, "So you stay with us to Darkhold then?"
Yes.
Mm. Yeah.
That's the plan.
You need to buy some camels there.
Mhm.
Traveling into the desert.
Mhm.
Slay some dragons, my boy says.
Mhm.
Maybe not slay dragons, but
Shrugs.
We need to meet a dragon. At the very least.
He nods. Got some magic for you that you need then, or something of that nature.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shakes his head, and he's like, aye, your lot's always doing things like that. Always running off, killing dragons, taking stuff it shouldn't be taken.
Well, we're not. I don't think we're stealing anything. We're just gonna go have a chat, and hopefully he'll be able to help us solve a problem.
Oh. Here's to hoping you don't gotta steal nothing then. And he takes a drink out of the drink.
Why do you think we have to steal something?
He just looks confused, and he's like, well, if you kill dragons and you take their stuff, or you're going to old crypts and you take the stuff, and
No, we're not killing anyone though. Hopefully.
you go into old dungeons and you kill all the creatures and you take the stuff. I mean, they probably stole it anyway. I don't have a particular problem with it, but I figure, that's pretty much stealing.
I mean, but the dragon isn't a monster. I mean, not
pretty sure dragons are monsters there, friend.
not all of them. They're pretty chill, actually.
They're not people.
Dragon?
They're not people and they're not animals. So they gotta eat something.
But they
Just keep drinking, old man. Come on. Don't say something we're both gonna regret.
He shrugs. Well, alright then. I didn't mean no offense. It's just kind of what people like you do. You go down into places that nobody goes and you take the stuff out of them.
All we're trying to say is that, sometimes you can reason with dragons. There are some things that can't reason with. And those are the ones that, we slay and take their stuff.
At you, and he's like, oh, so you try to talk to him first.
Not what I said. Like 5 minutes ago.
He shrugs and he's like, oh, I just figured you kill him. That's quicker.
Oh. But also, I don't know. I don't know if we could kill a dragon.
I don't mean any offense. I don't really know how it works. I just know from the storybooks. And I guess talking to a dragon doesn't make a very good story. People probably only write about times you kill him. But you're the expert.
Well, we've talked to this one once already.
Right, and it didn't breathe fire on you.
No.
Nods. Well, I didn't know dragons did that. I thought they all just breathe fire on things and eat them.
Mm-mm.
And then you show up, you kill a dragon, you take all the stuff that it got from killing other people and taking their stuff. I thought that was just the way it worked,
No, I mean, this was a good dragon.
Not all dragons breathe fire. Some of them breathe other things.
Yeah, some.
Squints at you and these other things. What, like frogs?
No. Like. Then Kelric kind of starts the explanation.
He's like, it must be the wine. I don't know why it would default to frogs like that. That's a weird one. Imagine a frog-breathing dragon.
I imagine he'd croak pretty fast.
I think I broke qzisu. I saw him just bury his hands on his face. Frog-breathing. Alright, so lightning den. Oh, yeah, nice. So, Kelric spends a little while explaining the different types of dragons to Papa May, who seems to just be not aware that that's a thing that exists, or that there's ways that adventurers deal with their problems outside of just murdering stuff.
It's about redemption, damn it!
He's perfectly accepting. It's just not a story he's ever heard before.
I'm just like kind of sitting off to the side, like with my arms crossed.
Because when you said it,
So,
We're not murderous.
So what you're saying is the only way that we...
Go ahead, Eve.
So what you're saying is the only way we can convince you is to actually get you to meet a dragon?
No.
he shrugs and he's like, well, if you can bring a dragon to the boat.
Well, you've got me already.
Yeah, you've got Chris.
He nods and he's like, no offense there, Featherbridge, you don't look much like a dragon. You look like a person.
Well, if you're ever in Waterdeep.
He points at Buster and he's like, I would look more like a dragon than you.
And if we're just going
that's
off
not
of
nice.
appearances, sure.
He shrugs and he's like, what else would I go off of? Can you breathe fire?
Oh.
Or one of other things. Can you breathe fire or lightning or ice or poison?
I can do a lightning trick with my swords.
He nods.
I can vomit up acid. You want me to acid your boat?
See, that one, I'd really didn't acid the boat, actually. But see, that one can breathe acid. Doesn't that make them more of a dragon than you? Isn't that because it comes out their mouth? Does your lightning swords come out your mouth then?
I could probably rig something up where I can vomit them out, I guess.
Seeing the wheels in Chris's head turn.
That's okay. That's okay, Chris.
Because I watched that sword swallowing performance, and now I'm like thinking about it. Like,
Chris, no, you'll cook yourself from the inside. Okay, no more wine for you. No more wine for you.
Oh, Kelric.
You know, fun. How's anybody supposed to learn something and nobody teaches them?
Will you even remember it?
He's like, I've had half a glass.
Fair enough. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, that's strong. Good lord.
I'm gonna do insight. Is he really like drank? Let's see.
You don't think so?
Oh, no, yeah.
He seems ignorant. Like, he doesn't seem like he's trying to be hurtful. He doesn't seem like this is like he's being mean. He seems genuinely ignorant on the subject. So like he's just asking questions and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, but he's giving Chris the idea to swallow a lightning sword.
Thinking about it.
No.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Please don't.
I'll do it. I'll figure it out. I learned how to fire dance.
No, because that wouldn't count as breathing fire. That would count as your sword doing fire, and that still wouldn't be you proper.
I just mean that I'm good at learning things. I could learn how to vomit out swords.
Why would you do that? How would that help?
Breathe swords.
No, you wouldn't breathe sword. You breathe a sword. It's not this.
Maybe she's a learning dragon then. Maybe her.
Maybe that's my special skill.
Learn things. Is there a learning dragon, Kelric?
I don't think so. And also learning something that's not dragon specific. Everyone can learn.
Shrugs. Yeah, dragons are real good at certain things, right? You know, so you were telling me some are good at fire, some are good at lightning. Is anyone good at learning?
Most seem to be more physical, but I guess theoretically it's possible.
Well, you know, fire dancing, that's physical. So swallowing swords is physical. She's a learning dragon, maybe she can learn to do it.
Oh yeah, but you're saying that so whenever you say breathe things, they create fire. They don't eat fire and then spew out fire. It's a one-way process.
He's like, where's the fire come from then?
Their stomach. I mean, it's a magic thing.
Sword in my stomach. I can breathe swords.
Yeah, but you'd still have to put the sword in your stomach first. It's not the same.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure I can make an educated guess on this particular matter.
You're not a dragon, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you don't know what Buster does to get acid in there.
He's also not a dragon.
I'm dragon born.
Yeah, that's not a dragon. That's half dragon.
How
Kelric,
dare
is
you?
this a hill you're really willing to die on?
No, but it's amusing and Cat's amused.
You're gonna make me throw up.
Please do it over the side of the boat.
Chase is
What?
dying.
But it won't be really showing off my abilities if I throw it up over the side.
Yes, but it would stop the boat from sinking, now wouldn't it?
Oh, it won't sink.
Yeah, but you'd still put a hole in it or a dent or something, and I'm pretty sure that the captain wouldn't appreciate that.
I think that might be grounds.
Unless, and this is Cat speaking, unless it's like the doctorate, it only doesn't affect wood.
Like a bucket. Do we have a bucket I can throw up into that?
If it was like a glass boat.
This is not a glass boat. There's no if in there. This is not a glass boat.
Is there a glass bucket?
Why would you make a glass bucket?
It's like, oh no, only buckets I got are made out of wood.
Never mind.
He shrugs. How many actions did I have to do in this session? I think I've done fucking 4.
Then whose fault is that?
I guess mine. It's good practice. I enjoy doing it. I'm surprised at myself. So the night eventually comes to an end. The boat sails on in the evening. Shifts are changed for watch. Nothing really seems to happen that night. I'll tell you what. Who takes? We'll say the second watch.
Kelric probably takes the first or the last one.
Okay, so make a perception check for me, Chris.
I guess I could stay up with Chris, but
Yeah, I gotta find.
I think
and then John Cena comes flying from the sky. Because we didn't see anything.
At some point in the evening, Chris, you're sort of watching the water roll by the front of the ship. It's dark, and you can barely make it out with the light coming from the lanterns on the ship. But you do see something large swim like around the outside edge of the ship and sort of cut through the draft. And it's heading upriver, so it actually swims past the ship from downriver in the same direction you're traveling.
Layla actually awake right now? Can I like poke her?
I don't know if she actually sleeps.
She physically has to.
Does she has asthma?
Yes.
Okay, well then she's.
You're mostly human.
I think she probably rolled over because you poked her, and she's like,
Layla, there was a thing in the water. I don't know what it was. It might have just been a big fish.
She looks. She gets up.
Look?
She takes
Does
a
Layla
look.
have dark vision?
She does.
Yeah, I don't have dark vision.
Okay, I will look.
Oh, Layla, go use your special
Use your
eye.
special eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Layla, looking out toward the front of the ship, was swimming upriver. You can barely make out this thing before it disappears into the river deeper ahead of you. So it's sort of maybe 5 feet long. Imagine the little shadow of the fish in Animal Crossing, kind of that shape. And it sort of leaves a little wake as it disappears ahead of you.
It's 5 foot long, something or another. I don't know. It went deeper.
Well.
You want me to hang out for a little bit?
Hey, get out of here.
I don't know. If it comes back, I guess I'll.
Curtis suddenly wakes up and yells.
I know. One of the other cats came in to eat our cat's food.
Oh.
He does that, sorry. Not you.
They come barging in to eat Ashlyn's food.
Gotcha.
Like the lion from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Ashland?
Oh yeah, I named her Ash. I thought she was a boy at first, so I named her after Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, but she turned out to be a girl, so I called her Ashlyn, like a white girl.
Okay. I like it. I mean, it could be named after a dude. Whatever.
That's
But
the
we
name
just call her.
that's the name of the
Pee-Pee.
that's the name of the lion in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No,
That's
that's
Aslan.
Aslan.
Assland. That's my favorite land.
I love Aslan.
Anyway,
Aslan.
Booty Jupiter.
Favorite place in the
Layla
world.
and Chris are gonna hang out apparently.
Alright.
Talk about Booty Jupiter.
Chris. Oh, I'm gonna look over and see where Ira is. Is she sleeping? Does Ira sleep?
Yeah, she's.
Chris.
But
Let's talk on the other end of the boat.
okay, sure.
Alright. Chris. Asmodeus came to me in my sleep again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's
That
wearing
seems like
tight leather pants and anyway.
So he
Sorry,
showed off
sorry.
his soul.
Yeah, sorry, I digress.
what did he talk to you about?
Well, I tried not to let him talk to me at all.
Did it seem like he was trying to tempt you into something?
I think he's trying to make me unsure of things. Because he was talking about Ira and how she was his favorite, and there was a reason she was put in the mirror, and it may not be the same reason we've been told. But then he left and didn't ever answer anything. He's just I think he's trying to fuck with me, to be honest. What's your
Sounds
opinion?
like it.
I mean,
I wouldn't trust him. I don't think I would listen to him.
Okay.
I think he tries to kind of gaslight people. He tries to make you think that oh, this thing is the real thing. Smoke and mirrors type of stuff.
Right? And then
he's really after something else. So.
And he tried to make me think that I was the one that was thinking about him that brought him into my dream.
Yeah, that's what he said to me when he showed up to me that one time. So. And I'm pretty sure I've never thought about him willfully. So.
Damn, I think we missed an opportunity in El Terrell.
Oh, for what?
Getting something anti-demon cast on us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You think? I know I can't. I don't think I can do anything cool like that.
I don't know.
Well,
but you're a holy type person. I'm sure maybe you can figure something out.
I'll do some research and soul searching, and maybe the way will be described to me. Just thought I would let you know. If something happens, I don't know.
Well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, I also don't know about that kid.
I think he's fine.
It seems...
I think you're too suspicious of people, Layla.
Well, really, I think it seems suspicious that I get delivered a mirror and then their kid shows up. And then he shows up, the night before the kid shows up.
Yeah. I think maybe Asmodeus is just trying to insert himself into our lives for some reason.
I guess he's lonely.
Probably. It's probably lonely in hell. Especially if you're some sort of demon lord. You don't really have anyone to talk to who's your equal, I guess. You just got all your hordes of lesser demons and
that's true.
Or whatever.
I bet fucking someone lesser would be kind of terrible. What?
This whole thing is happening because Amadeus is lonely.
He's just lonely.
Bored.
He's a lonely
He
boy.
doesn't have anyone to talk to.
Well, if you get any more of those dreams, maybe we can piece together his plan.
Yeah, I'll let you know
Okay.
if I have any spooky dreams.
But I think he's trying to make us unnerved to where we kill Ira or something crazy, like we don't trust her, something happens there, but I trust her.
Yeah.
So
She did a really good thing for us, and I don't think she would do that if she had ulterior
I'll be right back. I
motive.
need to see what the dog's barking about.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, Chris.
Yeah.
How's your baby?
Oh, I reach back and pet my baby.
Lean into the back of your head.
Does he eat?
I no. I feel like at dinner I would have tried to feed him some fish, maybe.
It doesn't really try to eat.
I would do like a mother bird thing, and I would like mash it up in my mouth and stick it in my hair.
It's just like it sat there for a little while and then eventually fell out of your hair.
Oh. I don't know. I hope he's not sick.
Maybe they don't eat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe they eat something invisible that we don't see.
It is like a weird thing that came out from under Buster's hat, so I don't know if Buster's thing eats either, or if it needs to eat. So.
Maybe we'll ask tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if it was hungry, it probably would have fed itself.
Yeah, maybe it's eating my hair. I don't have a bald spot back there, do I, Layla? And I like turn around.
I look back there. I'm like, no, it looks normal.
Okay.
You could do with the brushing, but like, I don't want to knock the wee one out. So.
Yeah. I'm just keeping it warm.
Do I see any sign of that creature?
See it.
No. Okay. I don't see anything anymore.
So Kelric, you can vaguely, in your dream state, hear the sound of Layla and Chris talking, mumbling. It's one of those weird things where like you hear. You ever had a dream where like you dream about your alarm because your alarm's going off? You don't actually wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like you start having this weird dream about Chris and Layla talking. They're like standing over you on either side of you, talking back and forth, but you can see their mouths moving. You're laying there with your eyes open, but you can't parse out what they're saying, because they're too far away. So like in your weird fog state of a dream, their voices have sort of wormed their way in. And you go to sit up in the dream because you're gonna be like, hey, what are you guys talking about? I mean, try to sit up, you can't.
Like sleep paralysis.
Yeah, like you can't move. You can't like sit up, and much like sleep paralysis, you've suddenly realized that there's like a huge weight sitting on your chest, and it's hard to breathe, and you can feel your heart is like not quite beating correctly, the rhythm is odd, and you feel this like sudden shooting pain go through your chest, and you manage to tip your eyes down enough so that you can see your chest, and there's an arm coming out of your chest, almost as if a hand has plunged itself down in deep. And as you follow the arm back up, Chris and Layla are no longer standing over you. Standing, looking over you, all you see is a kind of oval shaped face with pale skin, bright red eyes, and sharp teeth. And you see this hovering face looming down over you, and you can feel this thing's hand push down inside of you, pinning you to the boat. And then to the rest of you, Kelric just wakes up and growls this deep, throaty, animalistic noise, and begins thrashing around and clawing, his teeth snapping. You can start to see the the beginnings of a beast shape start to take shape as like his teeth grow long, his fangs or his nails grow out, his face starts to descend, and you can see his hair start to shift into the reddish color of the hyena he has turned into before. Kelric, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ew.
Panic. Oh, good. Oh. Watch it go badly.
Okay. You realize suddenly that it was a dream, and you wake up. You like come back to fully. So the rest of you see the Kelric's talons and fangs retract. His fur go back to its normal like reddish, not reddish but ruddy blue color. And he sort of shifts back into himself and shakes his head, but he's panting and breathing heavy.
Doing all right?
So you're not contagious, are you?
You saw
Yes, this is what COVID does. No.
you saw him, didn't you?
Who?
Assy.
No.
Okay.
And then
You're even more suspicious.
He's confused. He'll describe the hand pinning thing.
Who pinned you?
An arm.
A human arm?
I wasn't paying that much attention. I was more focusing on the fact that I couldn't breathe.
Can I like investigate Kelric's throat? See what it looks like? Is there like a handprint? Anything crazy?
Medicine check.
Okay.
Awesome. And terrifying.
And terrifying. Yikes. Medicine. I'm great at these. Hold, please. Okay.
Okay. His throat is fine. There's no marks or anything on his throat, but you can see just sort of sticking out of the top of his shirt a little like almost like half moon shape where there's no hair. And if you pull his shirt or armor down a little bit, there's a handprint on his chest where there's no hair, almost like scar tissue.
Can I check to see if it's a Kesref Hellmouth?
Make an Arcana check.
Because I don't want to be contagious. Okay, Arcana.
Buster gave you the gate syndrome.
Oh no.
I gave you my Hellmouth.
You're not sure, Buster, but what you can tell, I'll give you this, it's a right hand, and instead of looking like it was placed on the chest this way, it looks like it was this way.
I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully it's not me.
Can I sniff it? Does it smell sulfury?
There's just smell.
Turns bright red.
Buster, yeah, or there with like your shirt open. And,
Layla's like on
Buster
top.
and Layla are like, yeah, and Layla's like sniffing you, and I think Buster would probably do the same thing, right? So they're just both smelling at you.
Turns gonna push his shirt down and back up.
Buster like swipes at his finger and then licks his finger, like
Buster definitely licks him.
doesn't taste
Avoid
like
your eyes,
Kesra.
children.
What? We gotta make sure if he's infected with the Hellmouth.
This. What?
Would I know if that's like some sort of ritual thing on him?
You make an Arcana check.
Okay, here we go. I got
You don't
50.
know?
I don't know.
Fucking weird. Dreams are not supposed to be able to physically affect you, but you've had experiences where they did.
Across two different characters.
Buster dreamed a goddamn demon into existence, so who
Mhm.
knows what's real?
What size hand is this? Is this like a man's hand or a woman's hand?
Yeah.
Like a human or
It looks mostly human.
or like draconic claws, something.
It looks human.
Can I try to healing hands it?
You can heal Kelric, and it seems to have no effect. The fur doesn't grow back.
It doesn't fix itself.
Mm-mm.
Wait, did my hair fall out or did it just burn away? Because this was here yesterday.
It's just.
Are you
gone.
going bald, Kelric?
Yes, it's from the stress of being a roommate.
Kind of. It
Hand
kind of
shape?
looks like. It kind of looks like it fell out, but there's no like loose hair laying around. It looks like old scar tissue. Like a wound that has long since healed.
How long you had that, Kelric?
I mean, you were literally in the bath with him 2 days ago.
Oh, okay, and I didn't see anything. Okay.
No. Because you guys went to a bathhouse together.
You know, I've seen you naked, and I don't quite recall you having a giant handprint.
Yeah, that's new.
Maybe that's the thing that was holding you down.
I guess so. I'm not sure why it would leave behind scar tissue.
Is somebody trying to break at your stride?
Then they'd go for my legs.
Nobody gonna hold you down.
Sir, what are you singing?
And he just kind of starts dancing.
Is that an ancient Gregorian chant?
So that nobody can drag me down.
I once wrote a paper on how Gregorian chants turned into rock music.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'd love to read that.
I might have it somewhere. See, the middle point there was Beethoven.
Oh my god.
That makes sense. You have the hair and everything.
I mean, that's accurate. We had to sing a version of the 12 Days of Christmas one year in high school, and it like went across history, starting with Gregorian and moving.
That's neat.
Forward.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it means that the girls all
weird.
started with the second day of Christmas because Gregorian chants all dudes.
So this is fucking weird. What do you guys want to do about that? Kelric's got a handprint on him.
Can I make a check on that crescent thing?
That was like the tip of a finger.
Oh, okay.
Like a nail.
Yeah.
Is she bothering you?
Yeah, that's Kelric doesn't know what to do. this is weird. And he did not roll high on his Arcana. Can I roll a nature check to see if there's any critters that can do that? Or would that just be straight Arcana?
You would just know that
Fuck.
there's no critters that do it.
Curtis knows.
Okay.
And for curiosity's sake,
Curtis knows!
Curtis has been sandbagging.
Shit! He just didn't want to wake up. He's like, fuck.
I finally look up from my book.
Because we're tank top buddies. So Kelric describes this dream to you. See this handprint, and you've seen things either pass through or attempt to pass through Buster before. This is not. You don't think, Curtis, that this is that different. It almost seems like something tried to, for lack of a better term, rip its way out of Kelric. And it left this mark in doing so. So either it was something trying to come out or something putting something in. Some sort of weird, very obscure, dark, arcane ritual. It is magical, and definitely magic is the only thing that could have done this. And it is not that different from what happened to Buster. But when it happens to Buster, like, it doesn't seem to leave like a scar or a mark, and in this instance, it seems to have left a mark.
Gonna put a hand on Kelric's shoulder and be like, Kelric, I don't want to alarm you, but I think something is trying to exit through your body.
God, it
That's
was fish soup.
not alarming at all. I don't think I would have lived through that.
Take a deep breath, it'll be fine. Buster lived through his.
Through the power of love.
Kelric manages to not freak out.
Something that we all have to go through.
No, that's not something we all have to go through. That's something no one should have to go through.
Most of us
It is
go
not
through.
puberty. This is not some sort of weird demon nightmare puberty.
I mean, you've been chosen by something, and you should feel very blessed.
No. Ooh, no.
Don't, Curtis. He's full of. I mean, you know. Don't listen to Curtis.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I just know what it is.
That wasn't.
Very clever, Dick.
Gonna chosen is. I wouldn't. Blessed is not the word that I would use.
All of a sudden, you just feel like this like dribbling of water on you. And it's like coming from like this general area on Layla.
Red.
Doing there.
Seeing if holy water would work on it.
Layla, don't pee on Curtis. It's not a jellyfish thing.
I'm not that holy. It's holy water, okay?
Holy pee.
I can't make my pee holy. That would be someone at 20 levels or higher cleric. I'm not that high level.
Kelric has no reaction.
No adverse reaction.
To the holy water, no.
Okay. Let me mark off my holy water that I just sprayed all over you. Where'd it go?
Why did you just pour water on me? I don't know what this means. Hello?
I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't just pour water on you.
My shirt begs to differ.
Definitely didn't just pee on you. I don't know why you're wet. I think you fell into the river, actually, and you got wet in your sleep, and then you got pulled onto the boat by a thing with a really big hand, and that's why you're got a scar now. It was a scary hand. Hold on.
Nice save.
You can't roll deception on that. You just can't. You literally, it's not an option. I'm not allowing this roll. I don't give a fuck what you roll. Kelric is not dumb.
Yes, Kelric, I dumped holy water on you to see if you would burn. It was really a scientific experiment. You're not possessed.
What would you have done if I had?
It wouldn't have killed you. It would have pissed you off a little. We would have maybe seen, like, whatever it was that's trying to escape through you. Identify it, but, like, it's not gonna kill you, Kelric.
You just have to jump into Kelric's head like you jumped into mine, and then go through all of their memories that they forgot, and then now have some big revelation that's going to change Kelric's life.
I didn't forget anything, Buster.
Oh.
If they wanted to go through my memories, they just had to ask.
You didn't forget anything, Kelric. You wouldn't remember.
Why are you into this?
I'm just saying. It's a plot hole.
I don't have giant gaps in my memory.
But how would you know?
Because I can tell you what I did most years.
are a lot of mountains and trees. It's all very similar.
Yeah. What the air said.
Well,
But if
now
it's
he's
all mountains and trees, how do you know if there wasn't something that wasn't mountains? How do you know you're not just telling yourself that it was all mountains and trees?
Well, how
Make
do you
yourself
know
feel
that
better.
you're not 5 years old and just have a bunch of implanted memories?
Well, I don't know.
I've read
that,
this
nor
one book
do
called The
I.
Matrix.
Listen, that's not off the table, Kelric, okay?
Again, but where's that sword that I'm gonna go fall on?
Where's Ira?
Let's take a 5-minute break.